What if the history of civilization is not what we think? What if the great cities we admire, Mesopotamia's Uruk, Egypt's Memphis, the temples of the Indus Valley, were not the first sparks of human ingenuity, but only echoes of something far older? Beneath layers of soil, beneath jungles and deserts, there are whispers of forgotten cities, settlements that may have flourished before all the civilizations we know, before written language, even before the Great Pyramids rose above the sands. Archaeology tells us that civilization began around 6,000 years ago, yet discoveries in Turkey, in South America, in the far reaches of Asia suggest the possibility of cities so old they challenge everything we've been taught about human evolution and the rise of society. Visual. A hand brushes away sand to reveal intricate carvings on a buried stone. For instance, Göbekli Tepe in Turkey, 12,000 years old, predates Stonehenge by millennia. Its megaliths stand as a silent testament to builders who should not, according to mainstream history, have possessed the knowledge or organization to create such a site. Or Caral in Peru, dating back nearly 5,000 years, older than the Egyptian pyramids, built by a people we know almost nothing about. And beyond these, there are whispers of submerged ruins off the coast of Japan, under India's seas, and even beneath the sands of the Sahara. Could it be that the story of prehistoric humans is far more complex? That advanced societies rose during the Ice Age, only to vanish when cataclysm struck? Tonight, we will journey into the shadows of archaeology, exploring the forgotten cities that may predate all known history. We will walk through crumbling temples that should not exist, decode symbols carved thousands of years before writing, and consider the haunting possibility that lost civilizations once thrived, their memory erased by time. This is not merely a story of stone and soil. It is a story of human evolution, of resilience and fragility. If forgotten cities truly exist, what does that say about us, about the power and the vulnerability of civilizations, even our own? Stay with us, for the ground beneath our feet may hold secrets we are only beginning to uncover. And the story you are about to hear may forever change the way you think about human history.
To understand the enigma of forgotten cities that may predate all known history, we must first look at what archaeology tells us and where it hesitates. The conventional timeline of human evolution is clear in textbooks. Prehistoric humans began as nomadic hunter-gatherers, surviving harsh Ice Age climates, relying on stone tools and fire. Then, around 10,000 years ago, with the retreat of the last Ice Age, farming emerged. From agriculture came villages, from villages came cities, and from cities came civilization. Yet, the ground beneath our feet tells a more complicated story. Göbekli Tepe, the first shock. In southeastern Turkey lies Göbekli Tepe, a site radiocarbon dated to nearly 12,000 years ago, older than Stonehenge by 7,000 years, older than the pyramids by 6,000 years. Its towering T-shaped megaliths are decorated with intricate carvings of animals, foxes, snakes, lions, vultures. The stones weigh several tons, requiring organization, cooperation, and engineering far beyond what we thought prehistoric humans could achieve at the end of the Ice Age. Mainstream archaeology admits Göbekli Tepe has rewritten human history. It suggests that complex society and ritual spaces may have existed before agriculture, not after. But if this one site exists, how many others have been lost, swallowed by deserts, jungles, or oceans? Caral, the forgotten metropolis of Peru. On the windswept coast of Peru lies Caral, dated to nearly 5,000 years ago, Older than Egypt's pyramids, Caral had massive stone pyramids, amphitheaters, and complex irrigation systems. Yet it arose in apparent isolation, with no evidence of warfare, suggesting a peaceful society devoted to trade and ceremony. Caral challenges the notion that civilization radiated outward from Mesopotamia. Instead, it hints at multiple centers of innovation, some of which may have roots even deeper in prehistory. Submerged ruins, evidence beneath the waves. Throughout the world's coastlines lie mysteries hidden beneath the sea. Yonaguni Monument, Japan. Discovered in 1986, this massive underwater structure features flat terraces, stair-like platforms, and geometric angles that resemble man-made architecture. Debate rages. Is it natural geology or the remains of an Ice Age settlement drowned when sea levels rose? Dwarka, India. Off the coast of Gujarat, sonar scans revealed submerged city-like ruins stretching miles with stone walls and artifacts carbon dated to around 9,500 years ago. Bimini Road, Bahamas. A path of giant stone blocks underwater, speculated by some to be remnants of a lost civilization, linked in popular imagination to Atlantis. If sea levels rose over 100 meters at the end of the Ice Age, as science confirms, then entire coastal settlements would have been drowned, perhaps erasing chapters of human history. The Sahara's hidden past. Today, the Sahara is a desert. But 10,000 years ago, it was a fertile grassland with rivers, lakes, and thriving ecosystems. Rock art in Algeria's Tassili Nagiere depicts giraffes, elephants, cattle herders, evidence of a lush world now lost. Satellite scans of the Sahara reveal strange geometric patterns, possible buried structures, ancient rivers, even a lost city beneath the sands. Could advanced societies have risen in this green Sahara, only to be obliterated when climate shifted? The pattern of cataclysm. What ties all these discoveries together is the role of the Ice Age and its end. Around 12,000 years ago, Earth underwent dramatic changes. Glaciers retreated, seas rose, climates shifted. For prehistoric humans, these cataclysms could have destroyed entire cultures, leaving only fragments for us to rediscover. The pattern is haunting. Ancient cities older than expected, ruins submerged beneath oceans, lost settlements buried under sand and ice. Each discovery stretches the timeline of human evolution further back, hinting that civilization may not be a straight line of progress, but a cycle of rise, collapse, and rebirth. Why it matters. The importance of these discoveries cannot be overstated. If forgotten cities truly predate known history, then our entire understanding of humanity's story, our timeline, our origins, our resilience must be rethought. Archaeology is no longer just about stones and bones. It becomes a quest to rediscover who we really are. Did prehistoric humans achieve more than we thought possible? Did lost civilizations rise and fall, leaving only whispers in ruins, myths, and maps? And if so, what might this reveal about the fragility of our own civilization?
To imagine the rise of forgotten cities, we must travel back to the twilight of the Ice Age, when prehistoric humans stood on the edge of survival. The world was in flux. Great glaciers melted, seas rose to swallow coastlines, and landscapes transformed. Entire ecosystems vanished, but in their place, fertile lands emerged. Rivers carved new paths, valleys became lush, green havens, and where nature provided, humans adopted. From tribes to settlements. Imagine a band of hunters following migrating herds. They discover a river valley abundant with fish, surrounded by fertile soil. Instead of moving on, they build. At first, simple shelters of reeds and stone, then storage pits for grain, pens for animals, and shrines to honor the spirits of land and sky. This is how forgotten cities may have begun, not with empires and kings, but with survival, with community. Archaeology shows us that long before Mesopotamia, humans in places like Göbekli Tepe, Jericho, and Çatalhöyük were experimenting with permanent settlement. The transition was not sudden. For thousands of years, humans lived between two worlds, hunter-gatherers by tradition, farmers by necessity. In that overlap, culture flourished, the sacred and the social. What is most striking about early cities is their spiritual core. Göbekli Tepe, for example, is not a village, but a sanctuary. Massive stone circles, carved with animals, stood at the heart of a nomadic world. The builders were not just surviving, they were reaching for meaning, inscribing beliefs into stone. We see the same pattern in other forgotten sites. At Caral, pyramids rose not as tombs, but as temples for ritual. In the Indus Valley, vast cities were built around public baths and communal spaces. These places tell us that civilization began not with conquest, but with cooperation, shared identity, and mystery. Could there have been others like them, now lost? Cities whose names we will never know, erased by flood, fire, or shifting sands. The ocean takes its toll. Consider the coastal settlements of the Ice Age. For thousands of years, humans lived by the sea, relying on fish, shells, and trade. But when glaciers melted, sea levels rose by more than 100 meters. Entire landscapes vanished underwater. Imagine walking through a thriving coastal town of wood and stone, its people trading shells, obsidian, and fish. Then, over a few generations, the sea creeps closer. Fields drown, homes collapse, and eventually, waves cover.
Every great mystery comes with debate, and the idea of forgotten cities that predate all known history is no exception. For every archaeologist who sees evidence of early civilizations, there is another who sees coincidence, natural formations, or wishful thinking. To explore this mystery fully, we must walk the line between science and speculation, between discovery and doubt. The mainstream position. Most mainstream archaeologists hold a cautious stance. True cities only emerged around 6,000 years ago, with Mesopotamia, Egypt, the Indus Valley, and China. Before this, human groups were too small, too mobile, too limited in technology to sustain urban life. Sites like Göbekli Tepe are explained not as cities, but as ritual gathering places built by mobile hunter-gatherers. Submerged structures like Yonaguni, often dismissed as natural rock formations shaped by erosion. And as for myths of Atlantis or ancient global civilizations, mainstream science places them firmly in the realm of legend, not archaeology. The reasoning is simple. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and so far, no ruins have been uncovered with the kind of undeniable urban complexity, streets, houses, organized government, that define a civilization. But others disagree. Independent researchers, fringe scholars, and some daring archaeologists argue that the evidence points toward forgotten chapters of human history. They ask, if prehistoric humans could build megaliths at Göbekli Tepe, why assume they stopped there? If sea levels rose more than 100 meters at the end of the Ice Age, how many coastal sites might now lie beneath the oceans, out of reach? The discovery of Dwarka off India's coast is one such case. Divers reported stone walls and artifacts dated to 9,500 years ago, contemporary with the end of the Ice Age. If confirmed, this would be older than Mesopotamia. Critics argue the dating is uncertain, yet the mystery remains. And then there are myths. Nearly every culture has stories of a great flood, a lost land, or a vanished people. The Sumerians spoke of Eridu, the first city, long before Mesopotamia. Plato wrote of Atlantis.
The Maya, Egyptians, and Hindus tell tales of floods that wiped out ancient civilizations. Are these mere coincidences or distant memories of real events? The problem of evidence. Why don't we have more definitive proof? Some argue it's because we're not looking in the right places. Rising seas may have drowned coastal sites where humans first built permanent settlements. Shifting deserts may have buried others. Consider the Sahara, once a fertile savanna, now a wasteland of sand. Satellite scans have revealed patterns beneath the dunes that look suspiciously like city grids. Are these natural or the ghost outlines of forgotten societies? The lack of direct evidence frustrates both sides, but absence of proof is not proof of absence. The Earth is vast, and archaeology has explored only a fraction of it. Unanswered questions. Why does Göbekli Tepe exist at all if humans of the time were supposedly incapable of such complexity? How do we explain submerged structures like Yonaguni that look eerily artificial? If agriculture was the spark of civilization, why do some sites appear older than farming itself? Could climate change and cataclysmic floods at the end of the Ice Age have erased entire cultures from history? Each question hangs like a stone in the balance, too heavy to dismiss, too mysterious to solve. A clash of worldviews. This debate is not just about stones and ruins, it's about how we view human evolution. One worldview sees humans as slow to develop, inching forward step by step until civilization finally dawned. The other imagines humanity as a fragile flame, sparking civilizations again and again, only to see them extinguished by catastrophe, leaving behind whispers and myths and scattered ruins. Which is true? Perhaps both. Perhaps history is not a ladder, but a cycle. Civilizations rising, falling, and being reborn. What if we are not the first to stand where we stand today? The forgotten cities challenge us to confront an unsettling truth. Our story may be far older and far stranger than we dare to believe.
Why do the forgotten cities matter? Why should we care about ruins buried under sand or stone blocks lost beneath the waves? Because these mysteries are not only about the past, they are about us, our civilization, our fragility, and our future. The fragility of civilization. Imagine for a moment that there really were thriving cities during the late Ice Age. Societies that built monuments, traded across seas, worshipped gods, and told stories by firelight. If they truly existed, what happened to them? The answer is simple and sobering. They vanished. Climate changed, seas rose, deserts spread, and what was once fertile became barren. Whole cultures may have been erased in just a few centuries. And here we stand, in the 21st century, surrounded by technology that would seem like magic to our ancestors. But are we so different? Our cities, too, depend on stable climates, fertile land, and delicate balances. If the world shifted suddenly, how long would our skyscrapers stand before they, too, crumbled into dust? The forgotten cities remind us that civilization is temporary, fragile, always at the mercy of forces greater than ourselves. Lessons in human adaptation. Yet, there is also hope in this story. For every lost city, there were survivors. Prehistoric humans endured the Ice Age. Neanderthals, though they vanished, left their DNA inside us. The people of Caral, the builders of Göbekli Tepe, the inhabitants of Dwarka, they show us that even after catastrophe, humans adapt. We are not defined only by what we build, but by our ability to survive, remember, and begin again. That resilience is written into our bones. The cycle of rise and fall. History whispers that civilizations rise and fall like the turning of seasons. The Sumerians, the Egyptians, the Maya, the Romans, all great, all gone. If there were forgotten cities before them, they too fell. Perhaps this is the cycle of human evolution, not a single straight path upward, but a spiral, rising and collapsing, each time leaving fragments of knowledge for the next.
And if that is true, then what matters most is not how tall our towers grow, but what wisdom we pass on when they inevitably fall. Modern reflections. Look around our own world. We face climate change, rising seas, droughts, and resource scarcity, pressures eerily similar to those that may have buried the forgotten cities. Are we repeating the same mistakes, or will we learn from the past? Archaeology is more than stones in the ground. It is a mirror. When we uncover lost civilizations, we uncover warnings. They remind us that no society is invincible, no empire eternal. But they also remind us of possibility. If humans built great cities 12,000 years ago, then perhaps we are more ingenious, more enduring than we imagine. The mystery as inspiration. There is another lesson too. Curiosity. The forgotten cities draw us because they awaken wonder. They remind us that we do not yet know everything, that mystery is not a weakness, but fuel for discovery. It is curiosity that led explorers to rediscover Troy, long thought a myth. It is curiosity that revealed Petra, swallowed by the desert. And it is curiosity that drives us today, scanning oceans, deserts, and jungles for what still lies hidden. Perhaps the greatest gift of the forgotten cities is not their stone walls, but the questions they leave behind. The forgotten cities show us that we are part of a story far older than textbooks admit. A story written in cycles of creation and loss. A story of survival, resilience, and renewal. And perhaps, just perhaps, the best way to honor those lost civilizations is to make sure our own is not forgotten too.
We have walked among ruins that defy explanation. We have traced the outlines of cities lost beneath deserts, jungles, and seas. We have listened to the whispers of myths that speak of lands drowned, of civilizations erased, of stories older than history itself. From Göbekli Tepe's megaliths, carved 12,000 years ago, to Caral's pyramids rising in the sands of Peru, from the drowned ruins of Dwarka to the mysteries of Yonaguni's terraces, each discovery pushes back the boundaries of what we thought we knew. The lesson is clear. The story of humanity is not finished, nor is it simple. Civilization is not a straight road, but a labyrinth, full of forgotten paths, broken walls, and doors we have not yet opened. The great question. So, what do these forgotten cities truly tell us? That prehistoric humans were far more capable than we once believed? That human evolution is a tale of resilience, imagination, and cycles of rise and fall? That lost civilizations may not be fantasy, but fragments of a past we are only beginning to rediscover? And above all, they tell us this: our own world, as mighty as it seems, is just another chapter. If they could fall, so can we. An open ending. The sands, the seas, the ice, they are not empty. They are archives, libraries of stone where pages of our story lie hidden, waiting for us to uncover them. And so we are left with the question, one that no archaeologist, no scientist, no historian can answer for certain. Do we really know everything about our ancestors? Or is the greatest chapter of human history still waiting, buried beneath our feet? Visual. Fade to black. A single glowing line appears on screen. History is not what we think, it is what we have yet to remember. Narrator, steady closing voice. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the forgotten cities that may predate all known history. If you believe, as we do, that the past still holds secrets waiting to be uncovered, then subscribe, like, and share. Because this is not the end. It is only the beginning.